Hi guys, how are you? My name is Burnell, and I would love to share something with you on today. Something that has been in my heart for a while now. But I was just thinking, you guys, I was thinking and reflecting on this moment that I had as I was driving down the interstate. And this was a while back, but I was in the car with my mom, and my dad was trailing, and we were coming from my school in Florida. And so as I was driving down, I was in the driver's seat. I was driving, y'all. I was driving down this interstate, and it was just things were going so smoothly. The ride was so good, no problems whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the rain, when you hear people say it rained like cats and dogs, outside. But this was like, can you imagine that times 100,000? But it just poured down raining, and it poured down so much that it blinded our view. I could not see at all. And what made it so bad, what made it very challenging for me, I wanted to veer off to the left because I was in the middle lane, right? And so for me, as a driver, to have better control or better flexibility, I wanted to veer over to go to the left or to the right. So if there was a blind spot, I wanted to have room for error, right, as I'm driving. But when you're in that middle lane, there is no room. If people are on the left side and the right side of you, there is no room for error. And so in that very moment, I remember as this rain was coming down, I could not see. There were two semi-trailer, 18-wheeler trucks to my left and to my right. Literally, I became the sandwich of this whole situation. And so in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom is here with me, I have to make sure that she's safe and that she's covered, that we're both covered, and that we get through this. And so the only thing that really kept me sane during that time was when I looked up, because I couldn't look out to the left. If I looked out to the left or to the right, I couldn't see anything. But I had to take a really deep introspection, and I had to look up from an internal standpoint and a viewpoint, and really put my trust far beyond my wildest imagination, my wildest dream or imagination. I had to really stand on my faith. When you talk about your faith being tested, right? That was that moment in time where my faith was so tested, and I could not think of anything else to do that would help me in that situation. My mom couldn't help me. She was standing right there, or sitting right there next to me. My father couldn't help me. He was in the other vehicle trailing us. And the only thing that I could do was to call on my help when I looked up, to call on Jesus, to call on the source, the guide, to help to guide me through this whole situation. And as soon as I did that, things began to clear up, and things began to, it was only a matter of time of where the rain stopped, and I was able to really go forward and to move with a greater level of momentum, and then now a greater level of victory, because I know that I made it through the storm. And I know too that you will make it through this storm, no matter how rainy or how cloudy it gets. And when your view seems to be just a little bit cloudy, or your view seems to be a little bit, just remember that someone is waiting on you to look up. And that is my inspirational moment for today. I trust that it blesses you, as every time I think about it, it truly definitely takes me to a higher level in my faith. And you guys, all right, awesome. Take care.